Wendy, Sally, and Benny. This is Ruth Park Public Golf Course, University Public Golf Course. About the last 10 or 12 years that Pop played, he mostly played over here. On Friday afternoon and on Saturday afternoons, there was a big money game, and he played in it. And even into his 80s, he never left without a few dollars. He just was that good. And just this year, they decided that they are adding this. This is going to be a driving range that they're putting in as an addition to the golf course. And it was suggested that this is a place that we could really put a memorial to Pop that would mean more than anything else. So we have, this isn't it. We got a good bench. But we are dedicating to Pop, and we won't put our bench in until they're done because I don't want to get run over by a tractor. We have a heavy-duty recycled plastic, weighs 48 tons bench somewhere in this area, and I'll get pictures when we get it. That will be in his honor, and next to it will be a concrete little pad with this plaque. Where's Uncle Phil? Phil, step up. You can see it through. That we are putting, and just so you, I kept this as a secret from you and your brother and Uncle Bud. No, Uncle Bud. But Alan and Ann Spector and a number of our friends and Amy and Aaron and just some other folks that knew Pop chipped in so that we could do this. But this will be here as long as it lasts. By its weight, you can tell it may last a while.
Turn around. And Tricia to left. You don't have to pose it.
I would like to read it because I think I captured my father. If you could get a guy in one sentence, it says, "In loving memory of Samuel Nell, 1915 to 2007, a kind and humble man, a fierce competitor, and a magician around the greens." And anybody that knew him knew that. I must tell you, I was here last week. I met with the superintendent of the golf course, with the pro Ron Aiken, and with the superintendent of the University City Parks Department. And anybody, and several of them, Ron Aiken used to play in the same game with him. And I was so proud. They had so many nice things to say about number one, what a wonderful player he was, but what a neat man, and he just was a great guy. And everybody that ever met him, the superintendent of the golf course knew who he was, had played with him, had seen him around, came walking up, introduced himself, told me what a great fellow my dad was, and I'm so proud. But it'll be safely, permanently, I hope, embedded in concrete, and anybody that knew him when they come up and watch the guys hit golf balls can sit down and they'll see this plaque, and we'll see that we have a good photograph of it for you guys, and I'll send Uncle Murray and Uncle Bud. But I hope that you understand why I needed this to be a surprise. This was too good. So Alan and Ann, I thank you for your contributions. Amy, Aaron and Gwen, the girls, and other friends and family members that participated. My friend Marty Satz started it all. And he called me one day last November, and he had been talking to Ron Aiken, the pro, told me about the range. And I think Marty said, you know, they talked about Pop because both of them knew him. And when Marty suggested to Ron Aiken maybe we could do something like this, they came up with the idea of the bench. I thought it was fabulous. Marty sent out a note to a number of folks. A few checks rolled in, and we were able to do this. So I'm really excited. I don't get very excited.
And now you have to do this all over again because Stephen Marcia and Kenny and Sandy.
Well, that's all right. Well, I'll tell them the story.
Watch the movie. Check it on YouTube.
Anybody, family members, you should be very proud. Your father, your grandfather, your great-grandfather. I don't know that he was quite a legend out here, but anybody that ever played on this golf course seemed to know him and like him and hate to lose him.
Sounds like a definition of a legend to me.
Yeah, I guess so.
And he also taught a lot of us out here.
He did that too, I forgot. Yeah, he gave many lessons out here gratis. I feel like I ought to pick up his pitching wedge and go over to the practice green, but I couldn't do it.
Ken brought his driver.
Yeah, I know.
Do they know when it's going to be finished?
Not exactly. 252, the Berenbaum brothers on the tee.
It doesn't look like any time soon.
Head over.
Well, you know,
Don't go too fast, you're getting nauseous.
So I would think by the end of June they'll be getting ball back. They have to even relocate the 8th tee where those carts are right down there. straight ahead of you is the 8th green, and the 8th tee is being relocated back the other way where it used to be. Anyway, this is Kenny and Sandy and Marcia and Steve. This is not the bench. This is not the bench.
Oh.
We didn't put the bench out here because I don't want it run over by one of those tractors. But as I said before you arrived, I'm sorry, I wasn't sure you were coming. We are dedicating a bench to my dad here at this soon-to-be complete, well, pretty soon-to-completed driving range. And this is the plaque that will go next to it in concrete, Kenny. Steve. And I'll read again. We'll get it on tape twice.
listening.
In loving memory of Sam Unell, 1915 to 2007. A kind and humble man, a fierce competitor, and a magician around the greens. If you knew him, and you knew if you ever saw him play, all of that was exactly what he was. He was just let's see this. Oh, sure. I'll pass it around. Believe me, you aren't going to break it. And I'll be sending a thank you letter from all the families to Ron and to the Parks Commission and the Parks, whatever they call themselves, because they were very helpful in getting this done.
We could do it. We would.
I was going to have it all set up, and the guy from the Parks
guess what we did?
Maybe we'll wait till the range is done.
In New York City overnight.
And then I
got you and the son.
just driving around.
We stayed in New York City overnight, and we got our tickets through Priceline.com. We stayed at the Westin for $150 a night.
Yeah.
So if you're willing to take some risks, when it gets close to cruise time, and you got whatever, we can figure out how together we want to do that.
Are you going to go
And they're going to light it. It's going to be a nice facility.
We're working out the...
But you know, see this guy walking up here? This is the... he's out of the 9th fairway, which comes back up that way. But a lot of guys used to come out and hit practice balls from here down there.
Videos of
the range.
What?
And I reminded him of the time I was out here with Pop, and he had hit a bunch of balls down that way, and he was coming back up, and he got about where that guy was, and it was a fall day. It was cold and ugly and gray. He thought, there's nobody out here. So he just chipped a few out into the 9th fairway, and he hit them to the 9th green instead of back up to nothing. And as he and I were walking back up, Henry Chrisman was the old pro, and he was just a nasty guy. And there Henry is standing there shaking his head, and he gave Pop he read him the riot act. What are you doing out there? And Pop said, but Henry, there's nobody here. That was him. Always hitting a few extra practice shots. Anyway, I love this place. I grew up here. He spent the last, I don't know, 10, 15 years.
Pretty sure they would be in the New Jersey, New York area.
They loved him. After which I might add, they always played.
Logic was to stay in the city.
One way or another. That's how they do it.
Right. Yeah, and do some New York stuff. That'd be good.
All right, the party's over. You can do whatever the hell you want.
Yeah.
Thank you, Ann. Ann, let me get you on there. Very slowly.
Her name was mentioned.
There you are,
Ann
several times.
Here.
Ann and Alan, our photographer. Thank you.
It's going to be a long one.